Hey everybody, listen. I want you to listen to this here. I am convinced Angie knew who was taking her money, and she obviously, as they say, felt it coming. So listen to this, okay? And then I want you to hear a video that she posted, okay? So let's go ahead and listen to this. I mean, when you sit back and think Bruno Mars, Dr. Dre. And she's talking about other people that have sampled music and how they've gotten their money. The legacy of my life for my. So, let me back up. Just so you know, she put together a team she did her own investigation from what I've gathered. She then put together a team to turn over her findings. Okay. And you're going to hear a man who discusses one of their, she hired Paxton, his music company, his business. She hired them to find out, hey, here's my findings, let's sign a contract letter to try and get this resolved. So she knew who stole her money, and it came up to be, based on her calculations, $50 million. She didn't even want to go on the road. But again, sometimes you work because not that you want to, but because you have to. So listen to this. Coins. And she's talking about getting her money. How much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me. Money that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people give up my coins. And so what I'm doing now is whatever is necessary to make sure they pay me for the legacy of my life, for my children and my grandchildren. They're going to have to give me my money. I mean, when you sit back and think Bruno Mars, Dr. Dre, when you think about all these people that have sampled music, if they're filthy rich on it, what's our problem? Or my problem? So check this out. I'm going to go ahead and play this. I think she felt it coming. I really do think so. Year of exposure, and I decided rather than have someone just tell my story and change it up into what they want to do, I'll give you a brief synopsis of something that you can kind of always turn the page backwards and check out the story for yourself. They can't do nothing to me, and even if they try, I'm still protected by the Most High. You heard that? She said they can't do nothing to me. This is the year of exposure, and I decided rather than have someone just tell my story and change it up into what they want to do, I'll give you a brief synopsis of something that you can kind of always turn the page backwards and check out the story for yourself. They can't do nothing to me, and even if they try, I'm still protected by the Most High. They can't do nothing to me. This is the year of exposure. And I think that was the problem. She said, even if they try, she's still protected. So that leads me to believe her spidey senses, her intuition was spot on. So let's listen here to Paxton. I'm going to play this video. She had signed a contract with him. She wanted to get some business done. She knew who she felt had stole her money. Oh, yes, indeed. The man did not give names. I totally understand that. People like, I want them. Who was the person? Give the names. Yeah, I get it. So keep in mind, she already said she was making moves. She was already making moves to get her money. Already. People give up my coins. She knew who it was. She had done her own investigation. Only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me. Money that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people give up my coins. So listen to what he says happened and what she said. She knew who stole her money based on these statements that were made. Here we go. This is Paxton.
So so she tells me this guy sent the paperwork. She says, "Oh, don't worry about it."
So long story short, Angie's done her own investigation. She's realized that in her calculations, $50 million has been stolen from her, money that she's earned, should have gotten, but she didn't. So she's done her own investigation. And now she's trying to sign on with Paxton to, hey, go ahead and approach the person. And she obviously signed a contract with them, some paperwork. They communicated. Listen what happened as a result. It's not going to be long, but here we go.
Don't worry about it. She says, did he email you? I said, yeah. She said, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I can't remember if it came directly from him or someone else. So she said, don't sign it. Don't worry about signing it. I said, okay. I said, yeah.
So basically the guy sends the paperwork to say, hey, we are representing Angie Stone, and they want to get some things cleared up about the, about the finances, about the money.
Because that was just kind of weird, Fast forward, she started to tell me that she suspected this particular person had been taking her songs and stealing from her, right? So I was just kind of like, I didn't ask her any questions. I didn't go deep into saying why, what's this guy's position. I just listened to her, and I said, okay, so I'll send you the paperwork over so that we can move forward, because I wanted to make sure everything was solid. So I said, we'll send the paperwork over. The team will get the paperwork over so we can make sure that this guy knows that we're representing you. And we did. She signed the paperwork. She signed our agreement, and we moved forward. Then we start reaching out to this guy. This said person who had been handling a lot of her business. And so stay with me, you guys, because this story is like a roller coaster. So this said person who was handling some of her business concerning her catalog publishing, and when it came to certain advances and stuff like that, she said this person was handling, right? So all of a sudden we couldn't get a hold of this person. I text this person. They said, who are you? And I told them who I am. And I said, we'd like to talk with you about about Angie Stone. And we've taken over her. I think I said something like we've taken over the management of her catalog and stuff like that. And we'd like to have a talk with you, the team. And he said, send an email to my office or something like that. Send an email to my office. I'm wording what he probably sounded like, because, I didn't hear him verbally say it, but he texted. So I'm just visualizing the way he said it, because through the text, I could feel that's the way he was saying it, because he already knew who I was. So I felt like he was extending that energy again that he extended on the phone call initially. So I said, okay, cool. He said, and I'll get back with you. So I sent what he needed. I sent the paperwork. We sent the paperwork to him to show him that we had taken over representing her. And he never responded. A month later, he never responded. But the day afterwards, when I initially sent him that message, Angie called me the next day to go backwards, and she said,
listen to this. Listen to this. So today, it's been a month. When people start running a question about money, you already know it's something real strange, real funny. Listen to this.
Did he respond back to you? Did he call you back? I said,
let me go back.
When I initially sent him that message, Angie called me the next day to go backwards, and she said, did he respond back to you? Did he call you back? I said, no, he didn't call back. She said, yeah, he's probably not going to call because he know he busted, right?
She said he's probably not going to call because he knows. So she'd already done her investigation. Wow. She knew who was stealing her money. This man, obviously, he knows, and I understand not putting the money out, putting the name out there. Say what?
When I initially sent him that message, Angie called me the next day to go backwards, and she said, did he respond back to you? Did he call you back? I said, no, he didn't call back. She said, yeah, he's probably not going to call because he know he busted, right? That's what she says to me. And I said, wow. I said, yeah, well, I'm just going to keep on trying. She said, yeah, he's probably not going to call you, Stoney. I said, well, we're going to keep on trying. I'm going to keep hitting him up until I get a response, until he talks to him. So he never responded via email, and he never called back, ever, at that time. So we're making it through November, and Angie's going through different situations, and we're talking. There's things that she needed handled, and she didn't want to go on the road. She said, I don't
Did you hear that? She didn't want to go on the road.
want to go back on the road to have financially take care of certain things. And
see what I mean? Wow.
Talking, there's things that she needed handled, and she didn't want to go on the road. She said, I don't want to go back on the road to have financially take care of certain things. And I said, well, the sooner we're able to get a calculation of the songs and the value of everything, Ange, then we're able to get you a check, right? So Ange said, well, she said, I calculated, and I'm owed about $50 million between here and overseas.
Did you hear that? Her calculations, and she know who took the money because they've already reached out to the guy.
I said, well, the sooner we're able to get a calculation of the songs and the value of everything, Ange, then we're able to get you a check, right? So Ange said, well, she said, I calculated, and I'm owed about $50 million between here and overseas. This is what she said to me, right? I'm only telling you what she said. And I said, okay. I said, well, I mean, I'm sure we can get you in advance. We just need to do an evaluation of the publishing and make sure that everything is in one place so we can evaluate all the songs at once.
So basically, she wasn't playing around. She had done her investigation and coming up to what, $50 million. Didn't even want to go on the road.
So I'm truly a walking testimony that God has carried me all this time. Because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, money that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people give up my coins.
She wanted her money. She stood to stand on business, and I think the fact that she stood on business is the reason that she's not here today. I really believe that.
And I decided, rather than have someone just tell my story and change it up into what they want to do, I'll give you a brief synopsis of something that you can kind of always turn the page backwards and, check out the story for yourself. They can't do nothing to me. And even if they try, I'm still protected by the Most High. This is the year of exposure. And I decided.
And she did the right thing. She did her investigation, and she found out who sold the money, even had her own calculations based on her evaluations.
Rather than have someone just tell my story and change it up into what they want to do, I'll give you a brief synopsis of something that you can kind of always turn the page backwards and, check out the story for yourself. They can't do nothing to me. And even if they try, I'm still protected by the Most High.
And I think that's the reason. I think that's the reason that they did something to her. She got too close. And if you ask me, Paxton, whoever that person is, that sounds like a person of interest to me. It sounds like there definitely is a suspect. Who is it? There's a name start with letter C. And I don't mean Saturday Night Live. Who is it? I saw a picture of some dude, which I don't know, never seen before in my life. So I'm hearing different things. So what's the problem? She did her own investigation.
20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people give up my coins.
And I think that's why she's gone. She wanted her money. She wanted her money. If you ask me, I already heard Paxton speak. He has to know who the person is. Bruh, sir, you might want to be very careful for yourself. You might need to hire you a bodyguard because it's out here on YouTube. You might need to hire you a bodyguard because they know that you've got the paperwork, the conversations. So there has to be a person of interest. And I think whoever he was contacting, she had him contact, that's who the person of interest is. One more time. This is crazy.
Exposure. And I decided rather than have someone just tell my story and change it up into what they want to do, I'll give you a brief synopsis of something that you can kind of always turn the page backwards and, check out the story for yourself. They can't do nothing to me. And even if they try, I'm still protected by the Most High.
I think this lady was.
This is the year.
I think she was murdered for her money. I think she was murdered for her money because she wanted her own money, wanting her own money that she worked hard for. And whoever the person is, Paxton knows he's been in contact. They could have had somebody else do it, but I believe that's who's behind it. 50 million racks? Wow. She must have felt it coming. Because she said, you heard her, they can't do nothing to me. And I'm afraid that they or someone, he, who stole the money, I'm afraid they did. Wow, the world we live in. Just sad. Thanks for watching, y'all. Just, you have to fight. I can't see the family letting this go. I would be posted up in that office, whatever's going over everything. They've got to fight. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you all think. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share them out. Sad.